Hey, this is Matt O'Leary, and this is a review of the 7th album from Danish alternative rock, stadium rock, indie art, progressive, any other label you want to go with, band. It's called Visuals. And this band is really just hard to pin down. You kind of have to just listen to understand. Genre labels don't really do them justice. But they've got a couple albums that are right up there. I mean, top-notch 2000s modern rock albums. One is Frankerz from 2003, which is an affectionate name that they call their fans, a mix of strangers and friends, and then And the Glass-Handed Kites from 2005. Frankerz is, I think, the most digestible Mew album. It's definitely the easiest and most initially pleasing listen of any of theirs. Favorite songs are Am I Right? No, for sure. Snow Brigade, and Comforting Sounds. And the Glass-Handed Kites is designed to be more cohesive with a lot of the tracks just seamlessly drifting into each other. And I think it's my favorite Mew album. It's the first one I heard. I think what it does so well is execute this push and pull between these more experimental, abrasive sections and these just massive, euphoric pop hooks. My wife once said that if she wrote a chorus as amazing as Apocalypso, she would just quit music because you're never going to top that. Seriously, if you do not know this album, it's time you go check it out. The first 6 or 7 tracks will sell you, guarantee it. The band's frequently said they're trying to change the sound and reinvent themselves with every album. They don't want to, repeat themselves, which is definitely understandable. But to be honest, I've never really got that impression from Mew's albums. Even the 2 most recent ones, No More Stories, yada yada yada, long title, and Plus Minus from 2015. And yeah, they're always adding fresh ideas like that insane backwards tape effect on New Terrain or that swaggering funk guitar on Making Friends. But even though they're scrapbooking sounds together in new and innovative ways, I get a very distinctive Mew feel from each album. They don't really stand apart for me. But coming from them, that's okay, because they really are consistent, and Visuals just continues this. Right away on Nothingness No Regrets, I'm back in that eccentric but comforting world that only Mew can create. And everything's anchored by Jonas's incredibly pure voice. What's weird is it's so piercing, but that actually makes it sound higher than it is. If you play these notes on a piano, it's actually not that incredibly high. He's a tenor, but it's that normal range. I'd say his voice is piercing, but it's also very cerebral. He has a very melodic approach, and this album immediately provides some very memorable tunes on this first track. I just kind of feel like a gumdrop prancing through Candyland when this thing hits. 2 numbers. So quirky, so Mew. One of the best moments for me is on the second track, The Wake of Your Life, with that very new wavy outro. And that transition into the next track feels so bizarre. I mean, we go from this glitzy stadium pop to what feels like the hype music for a WWE star. Bo Madsen is their old guitarist who left the band after the last album. And the song Candy Pieces All Smeared Out is the closest we get to that jagged, dull blade of a guitar tone he brought to their previous stuff. The song Twist Quest, such a tongue twister for me. Starts off with this stuttering beat that kind of feels like deer hoof, but then this little guitar line comes in and just kind of squashes that. Later on, the saxophone adds another layer to one of their most successful experiments on the record. They've even got a Kenny G solo moment in there. I love how many times the song Learn Our Crystals changes feel completely. I mean, you go from this chilly trap beat in the first chorus to this jovial Latin beat throughout most of the rest of the song. Then it ends with just a steady rock beat. I mean, completely different textures all flowing together without a hitch. Brilliant. Also, those vocal effects on the outro, oof! The songs that do very little for me are In a Better Place, Shoulders, and Zanzibar. I feel like they emphasize atmosphere over any sort of songwriting coherence. But they're not like offensively bad, they're pleasant, and I'm sure with more listens, maybe I'll pick up on some more lyrics and subtleties that just haven't hit me yet. 85 Videos is really the obvious choice for single on the record. It's odd to me that they put out Carry Me to Safety Safety first. I feel like that one is so dependent on the context of the record. 85 Videos has the most immediate chorus and bridge, and that Angel part, which kind of sounds like a second chorus. But that's something that Muse always done super well. I mean, you think you know the hook of the song, and then another part comes along that's just as catchy, if not more so. Lyrically, Muse always kept it very abstract and up to interpretation, but 85 Videos to me, and this is just my opinion on very abstract vocals, is kind of the narrator struggling to connect to a partner that just incessantly lives through some sort of online persona. I mean, I hear the lyric, "We don't have time, let it go," and I think, put down the iPhone, you fool. But, I'm creating very specific meaning out of something that's meant to be vague and undefined. So go listen yourself and come up with your own ideas. I'd say my two main gripes with this album are the cleanness of the mix and the briefness of the tracks. They don't veer off and do as many strange excursions as they once did. And songs like Carry Me to Safety and In a Better Place just don't have that bite I was really looking for. If you really like the last album Plus Minus for its glitzy dreaminess, I think you'll really like this one too. But if you're all about that brooding intensity from And the Glass-Handed Kites, then maybe not. For me personally, they cannot do any wrong. I mean, I like both sides of the band. There's still so much to love about visuals, from the intelligent, introspective musings to the wacky instrumentation. But seriously, if you're looking for an eclectic art rock band that can also write an infectious tune, you can't miss Mew. 7 out of 10 for me on visuals. I'm so psyched to see them live in August. This band, I've heard they're amazing live, and my wife really likes them too, so I mean, what could be better than that? What do you think of Mew? What do you think of visuals? It's good to be back doing some music reviews, doing some music discussion. Thank you so much for watching.